What is going on, everybody? AJ Capasso here, talking with the source. I'm with my good old friend
Robin from Huffer and Paranormal. I'm talking with the source.
I didn't think you could hear me for a minute. I was like, wait a minute. I don't know if you could hear me.
No, it was a bit risky at my end, but it's all right now.
Cool. Well, first, I want to give a shout out to Paralinks Plus, which we are streaming live on right now. Paralinks is a great, just a great thing all around. I mean, we got Paralinks 1, 2, 3 Plus live. They also partnered up with the P3 program, who we are sponsored by, and also Parapost, which we are live on right now as well. The reason for us going live today, everyone, is we just kind of want to discuss some things and just talk to you guys. Hey, what's up, Sarah Russell? We just want to talk with you guys and have a good night. Figured why not, The Dark Project, less talking, more investigating. Yes, you're absolutely right about that, my friend. Unfortunately, right now I'm dealing with some car issues and I don't have a car at the moment, so I'm kind of stuck.
Brian.
Wow, can't take this. Yeah, I don't know about that, man. Not a show today. Just talking about some things.
It's all his fault.
Yeah, it's all my fault because I got bored because I'm stuck at the house, as I was just saying, a Dark Project. One thing I want to say to everybody is about the Global Ghost Hunt. Global Ghost Hunt, man, is ramping up. Things are coming along great. If you have a team and you haven't signed up yet, then I advise you to go over to globalghosthunt.com right now. Register your team. It's just going to be an amazing event. Wait, hold on. Need me to come up? Yes, absolutely. Hey, Robin, why don't you send him the link right now?
Will do.
All right.
I'm on it, Brian. I'm on it.
Yeah, Brian, he's going to send you the link right now, and then you're going to join us. So that sounds great. So we're going to have Brian Laverty join us right now, and he is the founder of Global Ghost Hunt. So I'm pretty excited to have him on. There's also some things I want to talk about with Spirit-wise, just some things that we've learned in, from researching, from what Spirit has told me and what Robin learned from doing paranormal work and stuff. So, Brian, it is sent. Please join us when you can. We'll see you pop up in the guests. And but first things first, what I want to talk about before we start Global Ghost Hunt, we'll wait for Brian. This Thursday, we have Alan Wright coming back on. Alan Wright is coming back on, and he is going to pick three. We're going to pick three viewers. What's up, Brian?
Yo, Brian.
We're going to pick three viewers on Thursday to join us live on the show. And what in the world are you playing, my friend?
Wasn't me.
Oh, it wasn't.
It's a notification.
Oh, it was you? Of course it was you. Oh, my God. Brian, please tell everybody about Global Ghost Hunt and what's going on right now and how amazing everything's coming along. Tell them about the sponsor, everything.
Well, we are working on sponsors. Wow, you put me.
Sorry, gotta make it
fit. We are working on sponsors. We are getting teams to sign up, and which is great. It's coming along very nicely. We did officially announce today, just a few minutes ago, that somebody's calling me. Who's calling me? Somebody's calling me. Oh, it's Marcus. So we did officially announce a few minutes ago that Paralinks is an official sponsor towards the Global Ghost Hunt. So things are coming along really, really nicely. And And what else can I say? I am working on another one right now, and the answer has been yes. It's just a matter of working out the details.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we're about that, man. We're pumped about Paralinks joining Global Ghost Hunt. I mean, I think that's absolutely amazing to have them sponsor.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. You know, I when I was talking to Steven today, I figured the partnership with Parapost, why not? And the partnership with Parapost is going super, super well.
Yeah.
It's everything is coming along very nicely. The both pages, well, they have more pages than I do, but all their pages are coming along nicely. There's new shows coming. I just found out today there's a new show coming to Parapost Network Central and to Paralinks.
Awesome.
So you know, it's just coming along really, really nicely, and the relationship between me and Steven is great, and I can only see it getting better because there is something coming down the road. I can't say what it is. AJ knows.
No, I know.
AJ knows.
Yeah.
And that's going to blow everybody out of the water once that starts happening. So just a lot of good things coming. And you know what? If I would have thought, a month ago that it was going to go this well, I probably would have done it 6 months ago, to be honest.
Oh, definitely.
And,
why not?
And it's all because of Matt. He's the one that set everything up. So I can't go without saying his name because he was really the person that brought us together. So thank you very much, Matt. Matt's been great. And also Matt is the consultant and takes care of locations. We did I say this? We did have a team sign up today.
Yeah, you said you're working on some details, but yes, they're coming on.
Yeah.
Oh no, you didn't say about the one that signed up today.
No, a team signed up today. I just found out earlier this afternoon there's more teams signing up over the next coming days.
Yep.
So it's coming along nicely, and we're gonna rock this. We're gonna rock this, and I'm glad everybody on the administration team's been patient. But there's going to be a time where you're going to wonder. I wonder if it was. I wonder if I should have been. No, it's nothing like that. But it's just all kidding aside. It's just
what did I get myself into?
Yeah, something along that lines. Because something along that lines. And you know, I have as the administration team knows, I have an end goal. And you guys know what that end goal is over the next couple of years. And, you know, divisions. That's all I'm going to say. So, and I did bring on a new division, a new possible division today as well. Cool. So people are seeing a lot of the videos coming out, but there's a lot of things that are happening behind the scenes that are happening with me and Global Ghost Hunt. So I'm looking forward to see what happens when May rolls around, to be honest. So it's only the beginning. And, you know, me and AJ spoke earlier this afternoon and what my plans were, some of the plans at least. So, yeah, it's going well.
It's going to go
So
great.
What's the subject today?
What was that?
What's the subject today?
Subject's just let's discuss some things. I mean, I had a couple of questions that people.
Well, what's going on? 2 days in a row. I like it.
Well, I
like it.
You know, not having been a little bit depressing. So I'm like, you know what? Let's go live, talk with some people, see if someone wants to get on a subject, and you know, let's talk about some things. But Brian, one of the questions that I constantly get on Twitter, like constantly all the time, is what is spirit? Okay. Now, my analogy of this, and from what Spirit has always told me, is obviously we're energy. But what would you say in your analogy? Would you say the same thing, or you?
Yeah. Rob? Oh, yeah, for sure. It's a big ball of energy. Yeah. But as people know me, yes, it's a ball of energy to people. But when I see something, it's usually a black mass.
Yeah.
A solid black mass. towards a spirit, towards something negative or demonic, which again, we all know we don't like to use that word. It's used way too often. I usually, it's usually a black translucent smoke that I see, and it's moving around the room. And it's good to see Raymond today. And from what I understand, he had a fantastic weekend at the Rock Festival.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I was jealous that he went, you know?
Yeah.
But you know,
we were talking yesterday. Sorry, AJ. We were talking yesterday, and they were sitting in the car, and they were getting ready to go in and see the opening act. And I believe that was Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh my gosh, I'm so jealous now. I don't talk about the bands that were there. The bands that were there were just absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
But so what I want to do is get back to what we were just saying though about spirit. You know, it's funny that you said that you see him, you know, the darker entities around like black smoke type thing. I see the same thing, my friend. I mean, I've seen it once. One occasion that I seen it on was it was before I was even into the paranormal. And I had this experience with a Ouija board, like I probably told you once, Brian. And one time I was home, and I just got back from seeing my friends. It was late at night. The moon was shining into my room. I cut up some strawberries, and I went to go walk up to my room. And the cat that I had at the time used to run up the stairs. And every time I used to run up the stairs, I used to put my hand down as I was walking up the stairs to feel the cat, you know, like as it was running up the stairs, because I would, you know, see it and feel her. Well, I saw her and I didn't feel her though. And I saw this cat jump on my bed, and I saw this cat circling on my bed, which I thought was very weird because my cat normally didn't do that. But I'm like, oh, I could see it in the moonlight. I could see the dark, you know, shadow of her. But one thing I noticed was her tail was like the end of a flame. It wasn't like, it was like a smoke end of the flame. It was the weirdest thing, right? So I knew it wasn't my cat. So I walked in the room, I shut the door. It was pitch black. I had to walk around my bed, and I'm seeing this animal walking around my bed, and all of a sudden I turn on the light and nothing's there. So I'm like, whatever, no big deal. It was just my eyes, you know, whatever. I sit down on my bed and I'm facing away from the door, and all of a sudden, hey, what's going on, Nando? Facing away from the door, and all of a sudden I feel this finger. It's the only way I could describe it. It felt like someone licked their finger and went down the back of my neck, and I jumped up. With my plate of strawberries, and I'm like, yo, what in the? And I'm like, okay, no, I'm just, you know, something touched my neck, whatever. It's probably a bug, whatever. You know, I'm just trying to like speak this away, right? So all of a sudden I start hearing scratches on the door. So I'm like, oh, my cat finally came upstairs. So I walk over to the door, I open the door, nothing's there. So I'm like, wait a minute, what in the world's going on? So I sat back down, I shut the door. I'm like, this is getting weird. Sat back down in the same spot in the bed facing away from the door. And again, I started hearing scratching noise and like kind of knocking almost. So I went over, and then I'm like, this time I'm not opening the door. I'm like, I'm just going to open just a crack. And if it is the cat, it'll run in. If not, I'm just going to shut the door. Well, I opened it a crack and nothing ran in. So I was like, I got pissed. I'm like, what in the hell is going on? I opened the door. My cat's on all fours, just literally hunched down, foaming from the mouth, just hissing. And I don't know what she's hissing at, because she's the most lovable cat in the world. Never hissed once in the entire time besides this time. All of a sudden, she darted under my legs, jumped on the bed, chased this black mass, which I saw with my own eyes like a cloud, around my bed 2 times, jumped off the bed, went over to the wall where the door was, and she just sat there as this black mass went under into the wall, and she just sat there foaming. I had to literally pick this cat up, Brian, no joke, and Robin, I had to pick this cat up, and I had to like shake her out of it. And I telling you what, we had a Chihuahua that would attack her. She would literally curl into the corner. She wouldn't hit him. She wouldn't hiss, nothing. So to see this cat hiss like this and literally be foaming at the mouth, I knew that something what I saw was there. Like, because I couldn't believe, I still to this day, I can't believe that experience. And I wish I was in the paranormal at that time, but it solidified a couple things for me with the whole Ouija board experience that I had when I was younger, because it was right after that whole experience. And I thought I had an attachment, because I started to have a kind of a mental psychosis decline, almost thinking that I was going crazy over a lot of this stuff. But so I totally get what you're saying about that black smoke. One of the things,
no. Sorry for cutting you off there. No. I've always wondered, because we know that animals can see, you know, they can see spirit, they can see whatever they can see. I always wondered how it looks to them.
I know.
Like when we see it, when I see it, like I explained what I see. When you guys, obviously, you guys aren't sensitive, but when you guys see a shadow, whether it's through a camera, whether it's through a picture, whether it's through your eyes, when you're in that haunted place, that's the way you see it. I see it the way I see it. I've always been curious the way animals see it.
No, I totally get it. I mean, no, I'm sensitive myself, man, and I see a lot of things, especially in this house.
Okay.
But yeah, so I do. I mostly what I'll see is not like I guess it's like a kind of like an outline, like a very thin outline, clear. It's hard to explain. It's almost like a staticky image almost for me. It's not like
Okay.
I don't know how to describe it. It's really hard to describe.
I get what you're saying.
But
I've got a slightly different view on that.
Go ahead. What's your view on it?
Well, I think from my experience, because I can see stuff as well, but I think it all depends on the strength of the spirit. I think to start off with, because a lot of people will say, like to see a black figure, a black shadow, and this is what it all seems to start off with. And I think it starts off as a black figure, and if the energy gets stronger, it then manifests into something more. I think I think the black figure part is one of the lowest forms. If you know, I'm trying to explain it. I'm not doing very well. I think, like, if you see a black figure, I think you've seen something, you've seen someone, not that word that we don't like to use, Brian, but you've seen something that maybe a human that had passed, but either their energy isn't strong enough or they're not sure how to manifest themselves more. I think if the energy's stronger, it'll then manifest into something more, like a full figure.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and you know what? That brings up an interesting question as well. Why does one have more energy than one that doesn't?
Thank you.
The only thing I can say on that is that I think it all depends on whether the spirit actually realizes what they can do. Is the black figure part that we see, the spirit wandering aimlessly around a location, not realizing that they're showing themselves to us in, for want of a better phrase, their lowest form. Maybe then if they realize, hold on a minute, I can show myself to this person and I want to show myself to this person, then they can use energy from our cameras, our phones, even from us, and bring themselves to the next level.
Yeah, and I get that part, but I've always wondered why. Again, I don't know. Maybe I don't know how to put this. I would generally say that I would generally say that I think most of them probably know.
Yeah,
they can do what they can do.
Yeah.
But I'm just always curious why one is more powerful than the next. Why can't they both be the same?
Well,
like, I've never been able to understand that. So
I asked Spirit this in a spirit communication session because, like, Brian, I focus a lot on spirit communication. And I asked this to my guides one time, and I asked what was the reason why, it seems like the positive ones that are crossed over, why don't they just come down and manifest if they have all this power, from being in like heaven or whatever we want to call it, and just manifest in front of us like our loved ones and things like that. Whereas you get these, negative spirits, well, they'll throw things and they'll, slam doors and all types of crazy stuff with all this energy. Why won't the positive ones do it as well most of the time? And the guy said to me through the spirit box, it was a broken up session, and it said basically like the ones that are crossed over can do it, but they won't do it because it'll cross into our fate, and it'll cross into our life path, and it can cause our life path to go in a certain direction that it's not supposed to interfere with, I guess. Which I think is interesting, but then again, like we always say, it's a theory, so who knows?
Yeah. It's definitely. I've always been the type of investigator that likes to look for the answers.
I know.
And that's really one answer. And you know, it's funny. I was at I don't know if you guys saw this show. I was on a show where it was on Through the Lens. I was talking about, was it Through the Lens? It doesn't really matter. But I was at a canal that was haunted.
Okay.
And I guess there was many deaths at this canal. And you know, so I was doing a K2 session. And you know, I'm on the fence about the K2.
Yeah.
I'm on the fence about the
Yeah.
K2.
Who isn't?
So we put the K2 down on the rock. And I asked a particular question. We asked a bunch of questions, but this one question kind of fascinated me. And I don't know where it came from. It just came out. I literally asked, "Are you able to go back and forth?"
Mm,
And the K2 lit up like a Christmas tree.
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what's funny?
And
That, Brian, to validate that, I asked that same question about my father when my father was brain dead before I had to take him off life support. And I asked that when I was having a medium session with the medium I work with when I first met her. And this was before she knew anything about me or anything like that. And she connected with my father. And I asked this question. I said, well, at the end of it, I was like, well, were you stuck in your body or were you going back and forth? What was happening during that time when your body was here brain dead, but your heart was still beating, but your mind was gone? And he basically said to her, what she relayed to me was, yes, I was going back and forth and I couldn't choose. I wasn't allowed to choose between staying in the afterlife or staying crossed over and staying here in my body where I was going back and forth. So I wonder if when we do pass, it seems like, you know what, why wouldn't we be able to,
mm, mm. It was
So
an
it's
interesting question. It was interesting in the way the K2 lit up right after I asked that question. Like it was an immediate response.
that's awesome.
And it was one of those questions. It was like this question too, and you guys know this. You guys have seen the video.
Mm-hmm.
People or investigators have always wondered when you die, if if you're married and your spouse dies, and
Yep.
then you die 20 years later,
Yep.
the other spouse, are they able to reconnect? Well,
Yeah.
we asked that question at the mausoleum, and you guys know the result of that. I
Yep.
asked the
Yeah.
question, are you two together? And there was 30 years difference.
Mm.
The husband died, and then she died 30 years later.
Yep.
And I asked, are you two together? Cat ball lit up like that immediately.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where a lot of people ask those questions, are you two together?
Mm-hmm.
I think I've seen tons and tons of videos of people asking that question.
Yeah.
And I got that
that
answer.
session of yours was impressive, Brian.
What's that?
That session of yours at the mausoleum was impressive. Really
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
But
That was
again,
only like 3 minutes of it.
yeah. But again, there in my eyes, and it's come back to what AJ said. In my eyes, there has to be something that when we pass, there has to be some kind of, like, for want of a better word, rules. Do you know what I mean? Where people can come back, but they're not allowed to. They're not allowed to say. I actually liken it to the Back to the Future films, where they interrupt the space time continuum. You know, when you go back to the future, you're not allowed to connect with your older self and stuff like this. And I
Ooh,
sometimes
that's
think
interesting.
there.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
It is. It is. I
Yeah.
think there's something, whether it's a veil, whether it's a rule. I don't know what it is. I've been thinking about this a lot, and I just think there's something that that when you pass is like, you're allowed to do a certain amount, but if you want to go beyond that, you have to get special permission.
Mm.
If
Could
that
you
makes
take it
sense.
even a step further than that? People that spirits that are earthbound, they can communicate if they
Yeah.
want to, but
Yeah.
people that are not are able to come back and forth, and they're not allowed to speak.
It's weird, right? It'd be weird.
Yeah,
They're
it
not
is.
allowed to communicate. They've gone beyond being earthbound, but they're still able to come back and forth.
Mm.
They're not allowed to communicate with people here, but people that are earthbound have a choice if they can communicate or not.
Yeah.
I always wondered that too about that, because it wasn't until my father passed, and he comes through in almost every session now that I do. Like, he just came through today, and when I did a session earlier, and he's the only one of my entire family that comes through. But I've been validated from him multiple times through sessions that he has crossed over. So I always ask, well, why are you coming through? Why doesn't grandma come through, or my grandfather come through, or my other grandfather come through? Like, why doesn't my other family members come through? Unless I put like a deep meditation into it and I really sit down before and focus. I mean, I really won't, and I'll get very few even then. But it's like, why isn't that? So I like how you said that, Robin. I think that was really good.
Yeah, that's cool.
None of us actually know.
No,
I mean,
but isn't it great to discuss it though?
Yes. I mean, AJ said it enough times. None of us are experts. None of us ever will be experts. We don't know.
Yeah.
And the only time we will know is when it's too late.
I love that. That was good.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, that was awesome.
He thinks he's an expert.
Pretty good.
You know what? I don't. You talk AJ about you're always doing sessions at home. I don't know why you don't go on live and show it.
I don't know. It's because
or is it a private moment between you and what you're doing?
Well, so yeah, a lot of the times I'm asking private questions, but not only that, I mean, trying to just gain knowledge, but also not only that, I only have one phone, so it's kind of hard to do a session without recording. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to do it. I mean, I could do it on StreamYard and then go back, download it, and then try to review that, but the audio is not as great.
Okay.
AJ, one phone, two phone.
Yeah,
and you don't pick up either of them. So what do you want?
Because it's you.
This guy, right?
But couldn't you do like because you had that spirit box, the red one, right?
I have the I have what do you mean the red one?
The red I have the SB7.
That's what I
have. Okay, so why don't you film while you're doing the SB7?
Well, like I said, I was gonna do it with the on StreamYard, but the audio never comes out great. It's not loud for some reason when I go to review.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
we've done it, Bran. We've done the sessions just me and AJ over the phone like this, and we've tried recording it, and you can't hear nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But you know what though, I like what you said about that. I may actually try it and then just review it, and then do the editing through StreamYard. You know what I mean, like that. So,
can you edit through StreamYard?
What was that? No, I'm saying download the video, put it in there, and review it through that.
I was going to say if you can edit through StreamYard, I'm going to get rid of Melon and go to StreamYard.
Yeah, no, seriously. Hold on. It says Raymond said, whoa, what are you talking about? You never called. Get out of here. Go back to your damn festival.
Thanks, Raymond.
No, so Brian, what is this is the most common question. Okay, what is God like, and is he a person? And I always say, well, no one's gonna obviously know, but from my near-death experience, he was energy. He was
that's what I think too.
Light. I mean, what have you heard, Brian? I mean, what have you heard, Robin, as well? I mean, what is your guys' theories on this?
Go ahead, Rob.
No, you go first.
No, I agree with AJ. I think he's just energy. But I think once you pass over and you're I don't want to say this, but going towards those pearly gates, I guess.
Yeah.
I think personally for myself, and I would hope this happens. I think it happens. I would like this to happen, that he greets you at the gate.
Mm.
That's what I hope for.
Yeah.
But I heard somebody the other day talking, I forget where it was, but he doesn't believe in spirit. He doesn't believe in any of that stuff. He truly believes that when you die, that's it.
Yeah.
There's nothing else after that.
Yeah. I have a friend that's older that does that too. He says the same thing. He just says, yeah, once you go, it's just pitch black. And I'm like, well, I kind of hope not. I hope not. After all the stuff that we go through here, I kind of hope there's something like a reward almost, like somewhere beautiful, at least like that I visited, because if not, I'm going to be pretty pissed.
I think if you were talking to that guy, he would probably tell you that your brain was still functioning, and that's what your brain went to,
Oh, absolutely.
and doesn't really actually happen.
Oh,
I can see him saying that.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what the doctors told me. You know, the doctors basically were like, oh, it's the drugs, it's this, it's that, you know, all these different things. They didn't want to come up with the whole thing. But I mean, I'm like, I told them, I'm like, how would I know what these people were saying? I was staring at my body. You know, there's no way that I would know what these guys are talking about at the moment that I was clinically dead in their eyes. So how does that, you know, how does that happen? But I mean, you know,
I personally, I think, this is my thought, I think depending on what religion you are or what ethnic background you are, that's how you see your God.
Amen to that. Yeah, I believe the same thing, and that's actually something I've gotten through communication sessions. So
yeah. So if you're I'm just gonna if you're, I don't know, Asian,
yeah,
you go up there, that's who you're gonna see. It's gonna be somebody that's Asian. It's gonna be somebody that's in your eyes.
Yep, or like
and
you know, Muhammad.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I think. I don't know if that's true or not, but and I personally, I would even take it a step further than that, because I know a lot of people have said out there that God is actually a woman. Now, is that if you're a woman that passes away, is that what you see?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, it's good to ponder about these things. You know, I mean,
yeah, it's cool. I love it.
Go ahead, tell us what yours is.
Well, you just open a can of worms, you see, and then you just leave this festering in my head, and it's going to be festering all night after this. You know what I mean? No, I used to have a real
Hey, listen, AJ's going to die. He's going to get up there. He's going to see a streetwalker.
Yeah. Fucking guys. Oh my God! Now I got two of them on me. You see this?
Can I just say, AJ, this time it wasn't me.
I know. I had to.
Well done, Brian.
No, that's my only time I'm going to do it. That's the only time I'll do it.
It's all right. Joke's on me. Joke's on me. You guys are such.
I used to have a real fear. Yeah. I used to have a real fear of Dan. I'm not going to hide it. I used to have a real fear because I believed exactly what you were saying. When you do, it just went black and that was it. Like going to sleep and that was it. But from all the stuff that we've experienced.
I mean a lot, but of course Raymond had to go standing next to his favorite light bulb. Friggin' Raymond.
Oh God.
Oh,
that's
thank
funny.
God.
I just think that from all the stuff we've experienced,
after that.
all the things that we have seen, you know, I mean, all the sessions that you've done with your father, AJ, the stuff that Brian did at the mausoleum and stuff like that, you know, that's not just coincidence. You know what I mean? The couple of pictures that I've taken that nobody can explain.
I mean, dude,
it's not just coincidence.
Look at the global ghost hunt response, right, Brian? That was incredible. In my eyes.
That I still can't get past that.
Dude, on command. And this is the type of communication that I'm talking about. That's why I totally switched over from doing full-on investigations all the time. I focus a lot on spirit communication now because of this, because I'm getting things like this morning, right? I said, hello. Someone came through and goes, ayo, and that's what I always say. And then next I go, how are you? And you hear a woman's voice come through and go, good. And then as I'm about to ask what her name is or what the person's name is, it goes, it's Michelle, which I'll send to you later, Brad. But it's totally cool. It's the coolest thing. I mean, it was like I was having back and forth with a PSV7. It was the most wild shit I've ever seen. But that's why I switched to communication. But, you know, like, go ahead, Robin, what you were saying. But I just, you know, it's crazy. It's totally crazy.
No, I just think that like I say, there's too much. My fear of dying has basically gone. I mean, obviously, I want to stay here as long as possible, but you know, I think that there's too much that I've seen, that Brian's seen, you've seen, AJ, that everybody, other people have caught, that we watch the real paranormal investigators that we watch that have caught all this kind of stuff. You know, the people that are, the money that's being spent in the field, the advertising there is in the field, companies are actually willing to sponsor people for searching for the dead, and really in a way. So, I mean, there has to be more to it.
No, yeah.
I like this comment Raymond said.
Absolutely.
I like that comment Raymond said. And Brian has to put up with me in person on Wednesday.
The one that I want to ask now to get it out of the way is because that old name. God. What are demons? Go ahead, Brian. I'll let you take this first.
You had to, didn't you?
I had
to.
For that white comment.
Oh God. I don't even know how to answer this question, to be honest.
The way that I would answer it is going back to energy, right? You have positive energy, negative energy, and you're going to have this negative energy. The way that some mediums have told me is that, and even through, some sessions when I've asked this with John, we used to do experiments where I would do 10 questions and then he would do a session with 10 questions. Then we'd come back and we would review our answers separately. Like I would give him my video, he'd give him his. And what we would find out was they would say that their thought forms that have been stirred up over the years where, like, say thousands of years of people being afraid of these things, where we have the power to manifest things into our reality, okay, as our energy. So the way that certain mediums have told me, and also through these sessions, they've said that there are these thought forms that we have created from our fear, from our negative emotions, and they're so powerful and they're very hard. They can never really be destroyed because they're energy. And they basically feed off of that fear. They feed off of our negativity, and they know our deepest and darkest fears. And you see a lot of the stuff where everybody knows as a dark entity, well, if I use holy water, then this, or in another religion, if I use this, it'll combat this. And these different dark entities. I mean, you got jinns in Islam, you got, like demons in Christianity. So it's like different kind of thought forms all over the place. But like I said, these are all theories. But I mean, go ahead, Brian. I want to hear what you have to say.
I don't know if I believe that. No. I don't know if I believe the fact that us humans
have lost for words before.
Hear this.
What's that?
No, I want to hear what you had to say.
I said I haven't seen you lost for words before.
I know. I just I don't know if it's people that's created this. I don't even know where it comes from. I even sometimes question if it really exists, to be honest.
Yeah.
And it's something that was just created from wherever. And I don't know. It's a tough question because yes, it could be from people that manifested it, but I don't know. I'm lost with that question. I've always wondered that though. So I think personally myself, to be honest, I don't think they really exist, to be honest.
So what do you think are the negative cases? Do you think they're just angry individuals, people?
Exactly.
I like that. That's what I think.
Exactly.
I think that too, even though from what I said before, I do think that because those are a lot of the things that I've encountered.
It's almost like and yeah, I've heard you guys say this, the way you lived on Earth is the way you're going to live in afterlife. So if you were sorry for saying this, if you were a fucking asshole in real life, that's what you're going to be in afterlife. So are those the spirits that are making us believe that there's something demonic? Or just really, really pissed off? I'll give you an example. I was at Fort Whitley, in the UK, and this was actually the part that I was in. This part was actually filmed, and it was put on Paranormal caught on camera, where a guy was pushed over, violently pushed over. So I went into this exact same area, and I saw him right away. It was a soldier, but he was a very, very pissed off soldier. Ooh. He was very, very negative in his thoughts and the way he acted. He wanted nobody around. And I think he that particular spirit just got to a point where he was tired of seeing these people come through here and he couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
except try to scare them.
Yeah. I totally agree.
And yeah, and when I went into that area and some cat balls were put on the ground and a REM pod was put on the ground. The REM pod that I use was put on the ground, not the red one, the other one that Bill Bryan gave me from Empty Casket, which is a fantastic REM pod. So we put it down on the ground and I said, you guys are wasting your time. He's not even going to go near it. He's not even going to touch it. He's not even looking at it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, literally, I would say 5 seconds after that, 10 seconds after that, he came running to my face and screamed in my face saying, "Get out.
Wow.
I want you the fuck out of here now." And
wow.
He was just a very, very, very pissed off spirit.
Now, how did you see that? Did you see it in your mind's eye?
I saw him. I saw his face.
Oh, wow.
And he was yelling and screaming. And in the actual video, I don't know if we caught it on video, but there's a moment saying, "I need to get the fuck out of here," and I rushed out of there.
Wow.
Yeah, it was, and then right around the corner, I did an SB7, like minutes after that, and I said, "Can you tell us your name?" And I believe he said his name was Terry.
Wow.
Something along that lines. I can't remember. Was it Tim or Terry? One of those two names. I'd have to go back on the footage. But you can clearly hear the name come out of the SB7. And now keeping in mind, we were 60 feet under the ground.
Oof.
So there's no way we're going to pick up radio stations. And funny enough, the whole time I was there in the UK, I think I picked up radio station twice. And that was it.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that is hardcore. Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad. That place is bad. That place. And it's funny. It's when I first got there, I was a little worried because I know a lot of people had died there. And I was a little worried. I was a little bit concerned. And as soon as I entered the gates, whoom, they swarmed me. And there had to be 600 of them. Wow. And I was getting all this stuff and actually I think it was Sarah or Rosie asked me what was wrong because I felt like I was going to go into a corner and start sucking my thumb. That's how fierce it was. Yeah. And
this sounds stupid right here, right? If you don't understand what you're talking about, but when you're sensitive, I just want everyone to know who's watching. When you're sensitive, what he's saying, it feels and it is real. Like, it's no joke. Like, if you're not sensitive, then you don't really understand what he's talking about. But when you're sensitive, what he's saying is completely 100% real. You'll start getting everything. It'll be like millions of people talking to you sometimes, right, Brian? Like,
yeah. And that, my number one spot I want to go to, it's on my bucket list. My number one spot, and you guys know this, it's Suicide Forest. It's me and Lexus. And as much as I'd want to go there, I'm actually afraid to go there because I would be afraid to what I would see standing and waiting for me going towards the woods. It would probably just be a black wall.
I agree with
of people. Yeah. So anyhow.
How about you, Robin? What are demons?
Right. I think Brian's basically said a little bit of what I was going to say, but I think that obviously you're right. If, like, I'm watching a program in a minute on Jeffrey Dahmer, right? So he was a complete nutcase serial killer in life. So to me, it's going to be a complete nutcase in death.
Yeah.
So the thing about demons, they're obviously, to me, like AJ said, there's good energies and there's bad energies. The demonic side of it, I'm sort of sometimes wondering the people who in life are like devil worshiping, stuff like that believe this is here. Is that them coming back believing that that's what they are?
Oh, that's interesting.
That's actually really interesting. I never thought that.
It is, because let's face it, people come up with all these different names of demons. People, do all this. Hi, Mark. Hi, Cara. People come up with all this, oh, I was out I did the Ouija board and something came through and said it was going to kill me and stuff. You know, there is some of these dolls we all know, and we talked about it the other day, Jay, the Annabelle doll and Robert the doll and stuff like that, that can actually affect you, you know, that actually have car accidents on your way home if you disrespect it and stuff. But is that people that have passed that believe that they were summoning these, that believe that they were there and they were talking to them and they were basically giving their life to them? You know, was there something there that they were summoning, or were they that much into it, believing it, that they actually believe they turned into it themselves and they're coming back as a negative energy, but actually behaving a lot worse because they believe they actually are?
Yeah. No, I mean,
wow.
I mean, I never thought of that, Brad, right? I never
Well, what I was thinking was he's just not all looks.
Yeah, right? Finally, something intelligent without his wife. This is great. Oh my
Not just a pretty face, not even a pretty face.
Oh my gosh.
No, in all honesty, again, it's another subject that none of us really know, and will we ever know? Exactly. Well, you know, when here's another quick one, right? Whenever you see someone on YouTube and they go into a haunted location and they set all these candles up on the floor, and they'll draw a pentagram or whatever on the floor, and they set the candles up, and they're drawing all these symbols and stuff, and they're saying, you know, all this, whatever they say to do it. Nobody actually ever sees some kind of demonic entity coming from the middle of that circle and manifesting in front of them. You know what I mean? They're just saying, oh, yes, it's here, you know, and it's telling me it's going to do this, and it's going to, you know, nobody sees it. We have more luck when we go into a building, and I know, Raymond, but just what can I say? Sports Illustrated.
1965.
Right.
Yeah. But none of us actually see anything like this manifesting it. You know what I mean? They'll say they've conjured something, but do we see it? No. Sometimes we'll go into a building and we'll see a positive energy because because we're sensitive, and we'll ask and ask and ask for it to do something, and it will, and we can say, right, well, there you are. But how many times, if you weigh it up between good entities and bad entities, how many times in the bad entity sector do you actually ever see anything?
Well, I mean, but you're not there with them, so how would you really judge that? Just because it's not on camera doesn't mean they're not seeing it. You know what I mean? Some things that aren't caught on camera could be caught with your naked eye. So, I mean, that's where it kind of varies. Where like it could be. I mean, you never know. But then again, most people who are doing this on YouTube have no damn knowledge of what they're doing. So they're just saying some things and putting some intent into some things. So who knows what they're unleashing? But I've heard stories with Native Americans where they've released some things like, say, skinwalkers or whatever you want to call it, or even shapeshifters, where they would dance around a fire, call in some whatever they want to call, and then all of a sudden this entity would come out of the fire over this into this like coyote skin and run into the woods. I mean, Dr. Greer talked about it with a bunch of stuff on the UFO subject. So it's just, you know, who knows, because we're not there really doing it and we don't really have the knowledge to go and summon these things. Thank God, because I don't want no part of that. But, you know, just in case. But that leads into one of the questions I wanted to actually ask you guys was...
Before you do, AJ, before you do, Ashley here has just said, right, and just not appear when asked, but just to go a little bit more on this, I think if it's a negative entity, if it's a, for want of a brown word, if it's a pissed off energy, right, and then it's not just going to say, whenever you go show yourself, say, right, okay, here I am. It's going to say, do you know what? Take a hike. You know what I mean? It's going to do like it did the Brown. It's going to go up to his face and say, get the out of here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, if it's a good energy.
Yeah.
You know, if it's like your father, for instance, you say, you know, can appear here? Can you show yourself? You know, he maybe say, you know, I'm trying, or, I really want to, but I can't. But you'll get this communication. But
Yeah.
I don't believe that these negative energies are going to bow to every question and everything we ask of them. They're not going to.
No.
This is why they're negative.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is what's going back the way you were in life. Most people that, killed people, did all kinds of bad things, they would probably most likely be liars. I do want to point out Ashley as well. She is a new part of Raymond Newsom's paranormal group.
Ashley, awesome to have you, Ashley. That's so cool. So happy that you guys are together.
I wanted to point that out.
But it's like Jeffrey Dahmer and Ted Bundy, right? In death, they're not going to be standing in a gospel choir with a hymn book singing. You know what I mean? They're not going to be doing that because they didn't do it in life.
Yeah.
So
no, I get it. Now here's a question for you guys: why do some spirits get stuck but some don't? Go ahead, Brian.
Robin, go ahead. I need to think about
this. Go ahead, bro.
Yes.
Why do some spirits get stuck? I think it's because I'll give you one example. One example is their unfinished business.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unfinished business would be one reason why they get stuck. Not knowing that they're dead, which tends to happen.
Absolutely.
I guess would be another reason.
And if, like, for instance, if I went, I'd want to hang around and make sure my kids were all right and see Julie was all right and stuff. So that could be another reason.
Stuck though. That's choice, right?
That
really stuck.
Yeah, but it all depends. If you decide you're going to do that, and then the repercussions of that is because you've chosen that, you could then be stuck like that.
I was about to say that as well. Traumatic death. If you died in a car accident or something like that, or drowning.
Yeah.
You were in a house fire, that would be traumatic. Not knowing, not believing.
One of the things that I found out when I was at Montana State Prison was a lot of these prisoners that were stuck there because of, like, say, Lee Smart, for example, one of the persons who led the riot. He was up in the tower still stuck, and he would light up the cat balls on command. I got the video on my YouTube, and he was basically saying how he was scared to cross over because he was scared of the judgment of God from the things he did on earth. And that a lot of these spirits that were there kept saying how they were not doing good because of their, they were like stuck in a depression almost. And it was like that negativity of not having maybe the white light, as some people want to call it, after being stuck here for too long or whatever the fact may be. But I wonder if that'll play into it as well, if it's like
there could be hundreds of reasons why.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, you hear this a lot about scared of the light and trying to cross them over. I've been into investigations where we had mediums. There was a store not too far. It was about an hour and a bit from me. Yep. And there was 8 spirits in the store, and we were able to cross over 7. One didn't want to go because he was a complete ass.
Yeah.
And he was an ass in life. And he was holding all those spirits there from crossing over. And the exact same thing to a bridge I go to. I really believe there's a portal there because there's hundreds of spirits there. And I've done all the research on this place, and I can't find out. I can't find the reasons why this place is haunted. And before anybody says anything, there was no native burial ground there.
Yeah.
So I truly believe there's something very negative there, and he's holding them from going through the portal, and that's why there's so many spirits there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's hundreds.
Well,
there's gotta be hundreds.
That leads me into the next question, which make it a 2-part question. But can we?
But Robin never answered the last question.
No, I'm gonna let him, but I want to add this part to it. Can we cross spirit over? So, Robin, go ahead.
Danny's right. I'm sure it's a combination of different things.
Yeah. Why do some cross and why do some, cross over? Why do some don't? And also, can we cross spirit over, being in our human bodies, in our flesh here on?
I think yes, we can cross them over. We can help them. We can point them in the right direction. But it's like, I don't know. I think that some want to cross over, some don't. I think the judgment thing is a big thing. I think a lot of people who, let's put it into a subcategory, the people who maybe have been an asshole in life, but have changed, for want of a better word. You know what I mean? Someone maybe committed 3 or 4 murders, went to jail. While they were in prison, they changed. They became Christian or whatever. They changed, but they were there for life. So they
were
died.
forgiven for their sins.
Yeah, basically is what we would say.
Yeah. But do they still believe that because they, for instance, were still in prison for what they did, and when their name was mentioned, it was mentioned that, can we forgive these people, or do we not? These people maybe wonder to themselves, yes, I've turned the corner, but am I ultimately going to be judged on that when I go up there?
Yeah. I mean, Danny just said something really, really interesting. He said intent and positive energy goes a long way. But they have to make a free choice to do so. And I truly believe that. They have to make that free choice. And that's what goes back to what I said about the Montana thing. Like, they had to make that, Lee Smart had to make that free choice to cross over.
And he also said some refuse to move on and be at peace. And I believe that as well.
Yeah.
And but again, and we can go back, and I can continue saying this, and Robin said it earlier. We just never know.
No, we
just
don't.
never know.
But it's great
unless we die. I know, and I know you did, AJ. But if we die and we're died for several months and then come back, then we'll probably have all the answers.
Yeah, which doesn't happen. The closest is you get a coma, but the comas, they don't seem like they actually leave and go somewhere for months. So every kid I've looked up, I mean, all the near-death experiences are like mine, and I tell you what, all it did was leave me with more questions than answers.
Yeah.
So
that's the great thing about this field.
Yeah.
It really is.
But AJ, I want to turn this one around on you this time, right? To sort of elaborate on what you said. So do we then, this is for you as well, Brian, if the person has passed and they're asked to cross over and they refuse, do they then get another chance further down the line? Or does that offer remain open to them? Or is it right?
Yeah.
That's a great question. Go ahead, Brian. I'll let you answer that first.
I think they do. I think it continually happens.
Yeah.
I think it happens I think it happens every day, or whatever day it is for them. I don't know, but I think it happens all the time that they're offered. It's their choice if they want to go through it or not. At the end of the day.
So it's not a case of if they refuse, you think then that's it for.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, who knows, really? Like we said, who really knows? But I don't think so either. I think that there's multiple chances that they'll have. But, how long and how many chances do you give? Is it a constant continual, or is it like us in the physical where we give so many chances and then we say, okay, well, we gave you enough, I
don't know. I think the light is always going to be there. It's whether they want to cross through it or not.
I believe so too. And I think a lot of stuff holds them back, and that's what ends up keeping them. So but okay, guys. So the last question that I want to ask you guys is, why do you think we're here in the physical?
Wow.
What is the reason come into the physical spirit, into these physical bodies? I'll go first. The reason what I believe is because this is a learning ground. This is a place like a school almost, where say if you're going to school to become a surgeon. Okay, you could read all the books, go to school for 8 years, medical school, all this stuff. But if you don't have any hands-on time of doing surgeries, you would never be able to operate on somebody. So the same thing goes for spirit, whereas we can learn everything we want on the other side about life, but we have to come here in the physical to experience these negative, these not these negative, but these contrast of life that we have here in the physical, so that we gain that experience, and not just the knowledge, but our souls can gain closer to enlightenment, if that makes any sense. But I want to hear your guys' thing. That's just my theory.
Why are we here?
Yeah. Robin, you want to go first? Or
please, Robin?
Yeah, I'll let Brian think about it for a minute.
Yeah.
It's like another thing, right? Like past life regression, right? People always say, I've done it myself. Been driving around somewhere. You go into a town or a city you've never been before, but for some reason you know your way around it, right? So were you there in a past life? So do we get more than one crack at it? This is the thing. Well, are we here in this life we're in now, and then when we pass, we just remain in limbo or go through to the light or whatever, and that's it? Or is there someone or something that's saying, actually, you haven't passed yet, back down again? So, I mean, there's a lot to that question. That, to me, I remember someone saying something to me one time, and it stuck with me. And I'm not saying this is how I feel, because it's not necessarily, but it's something to think about. This person actually said to me, when asked about was there heaven and hell, and the person said, when you're on earth, you're in hell. It's whether you can get to heaven or not.
I like that. That.
And the thing is, there's that much going on at the minute. Wars, illnesses, I mean, there's all these, like, school murders, terrorist attacks. There's all these things going on.
Yeah.
So is that true? Are we put here to be tested to see if we're okay to go there?
Yeah, I wonder. Go ahead, Bri. Let's hear your theory.
I thought of something funny when he said that. I'm not going to say
go on. I want to hear it.
Yeah, go ahead. You gotta release it now.
Oh God, I was thinking about when you said the earth is hell, and it's whether you're going on to the next step, which is heaven. And I go, well, I guess when I got divorced, I went through hell, and my ex-wife.
We won't go into that subject, because it seems like every other week we're going through hell with you, bro.
Next question from Brian is.
Oh Jesus, poor Brian.
That was my hell.
Poor Brian.
Oh no, I shouldn't say that. She's a good person, and she's a good mother. So she's a good mother to my son. And she's a wonderful person. I shouldn't say that. I like to make fun of her every once in a while. It'd be like I'm on stage, as a comedian, right?
Yeah,
talking about people in my life and stuff like that. Okay, this is okay. I don't really have the answer on why we're here, but I will say this. I truly believe that this is my belief, okay? I think we're here, we die, we come back to make any corrections that we did in our past life.
I believe that too.
If we, whatever it may be, that's what I believe. And I think it's a continual cycle that we continually go through. And, or maybe it's something that we need to do, or something that we did in our past life, or the big guy upstairs wants us to do something that we didn't do in our past life. That's what I believe. I believe we continually come. I did have a medium tell me once that I was years and years and centuries ago, I was part of a royal family, and which I thought was pretty cool. I don't know if she was, blowing smoke up my ass or not, but I think we continually learn, and we continually come back to learn, to help other people learn.
Yeah. You know, Danny, Danny just said, we learn by falling. It's how we get back up and how we choose to create our character. Now, question for you, Danny. Is our character technically our soul? Because my theory on it is when we're continually coming back, because I truly do believe that we're truly coming back. But if we're always doing something from the past life, what is the end game? Are we getting our soul to an enlightenment area where maybe God or whatever we want to call it, energy, God, whatever anybody wants to call it, say that being is learning through each and every one of our perspectives, right? Each and every one of our souls, say because he's with us or it's with us always, like it says in every religion. So what if we are the extension of that source energy? And what if he is learning or she is learning through each and every one of our characters and our experiences, and we get sent back to gain that energy as a whole, which what we would call, heaven or source, whatever. Hey, how are you? Thank you for joining from England.
Yeah, I think we can.
I'm in England, by the way.
What's that?
I said I'm in England too.
Yeah, I think we continually. I think once we die, we come back. When we come back, that's a different story. Do we come back right away? Do we stay in limbo for a little while, then come back? I truly believe in reincarnation for sure, for sure.
There's too many.
Because I've seen too many stories. Like, for example, I can't remember the whole story. There was a little boy that knew about his life, knew about these people that were his parents and weren't his parents. But I think he was, if memory serves me correct, his past life, he wasn't a very nice person. And he came back. Anyways, I've seen lots and lots of stories on that.
Yeah, me too.
And answering questions that no way they would know.
Exactly.
Unless they were that person.
Yes. Yep.
So there was a famous video out there that went viral on that kid.
Yeah.
Seen by millions and millions of people. So
yeah.
I don't think we'll ever know why we're here. I don't think we'll ever have the answers to that. But isn't it fun just to try to figure it out?
That's why we're here.
It is.
You know what's great about what we're doing tonight too, man, is that we all have different backgrounds. We all have different, like a little bit different beliefs and everything. But yet we could sit here and have a conversation about it. And it's not like, oh, well, that you don't believe in what I believe in. No, it's not like that. We're having a conversation with each other. And you know what? By doing this, we could further each other's research, because some questions that you have given me, I can now go and put it into my research for the paranormal and ask spirit these questions, which is why the whole reason why I wanted to do this and bring this out. But I want to say thank you guys for joining, for doing this tonight with me. I just was bored, wanted to come up with something, and really appreciate it. And Danny, we appreciate you for being here. Raymond, Ashley, everybody, Kara. Danny said one last thing. He said, we are meant to be better, and we are on a journey to strive to be all we can be and yet help others too. Totally agree with that. And, Raymond, one comment was, or there's some of us with their favorite light pole. God damn it, Raymond. Serious moment.
That Ricky Horner from England.
Yeah.
If you're still watching, add me on Facebook, Haffern Paranormal. I'm in England too, so we'll maybe be able to meet up.
Trust me, do not. I'm just joking. Once you let him in your
Don't
life,
listen to him.
All downhill from there, people. No, I'm just
listen
joking.
to the wise man.
Yeah, I'm just joking. But no, guys,
he's good.
So much.
He's good people. I plan to, when I'm going down to England, the UK, might be next year, the following year, I will be definitely hooking up with Robin this time.
Well,
that is the plan. Oh no, you can hold me to it. You can squeeze me. You can, tickle me if you want. It's all going to be. It's gonna. Yeah, we're definitely going to meet up.
What's up, Brian?
So,
I think AJ, see, just before you end this, I think that last question you asked is going to be answered probably by just more questions.
But even more questions are going to lead to more questions. So who knows? Maybe, hopefully.
You ask a question and we give our answers on it. But that last question you answered, to me, it just opens a can of worms, because it's like, in a way, in a nice way, because, well, do we, for instance, do we come back? If we do, how often do we come back? Why, for instance, would, like, say, Bran not come back and say, oh yeah, well, my past life I was Bran John Laverty. I run Huntophobia. I run Global Ghost Hunt. But you don't. You'll come back and you'll think, maybe sometime you'll think, I've been down this road before, or I've been to this place before. But why don't you come back and think to yourself, yeah, I remember exactly what happened to me. I remember what my name was. You know what I mean?
I believe the reason why for that is because it'll interfere with this life path. And I believe that if you knew everything that you did in the past, or who you were in the past, that it would affect this life and the things you're supposed to accomplish in this life.
I agree with that for sure.
But who knows?
So,
like we just
yeah.
discussion. And to everyone out there, I just want to say, everyone, Danny, God bless you as well. And thank you so much. We just want to say God bless to everyone, and thank you so much for joining us. And I really appreciate you guys for joining. This is just a discussion. This is just a bunch of theories. Nobody is correct. Nobody is an expert in this field. I don't care what they pretend to say. So we all are just, trying to figure out everything for ourselves. And I think it's great that See the friends I got, people? These are the friends I got.
There you go. That's I like what Danny said.
End it on a positive note, man. Just be better people. It's simple. LOL. I like that.
And just to let everybody know, Danny's video came out today.
Yes.
For the Global Ghost Hunt. So check that out. Check that video out over at Global Ghost Hunt Facebook page. It was great. I love what he had to say. And Robin's and AJ's will be coming out soon as well. And what AJ said was great. What's that?
You don't want to watch mine, really.
Well, no, because you only understand about 15% of it.
Yeah. It's the Belfast accent. I can't get rid of it. I've tried.
Yeah. No, it's good. Your video is good. AJ's was good. Danny's was good. Everybody's was good. So they're all coming over. They're all coming out over the next few weeks.
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate this. Brian, thanks for joining us.
AJ, we need to do this a bit more often.
Yeah, we should. Brian.
Danny, love my Canadians.
Yes, love my Canadians. There we go, baby. Go Irish. Go Irish. There we go.
And I will let you know that the Ghostorama that Danny's holding next year, he's doing 2 of them. I will be a guest speaker in the one in August.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, everyone's going to have to check that out. Make sure you go over and check out some of Danny's stuff. Like I said, I'm going to be sharing out the video right after this because it just finished downloading as we're doing this, which I'm super happy. Finally, my phone wants to communicate with me. So I appreciate it.
At least someone does.
Yeah, at least somebody does. You're right.
Oh.
Thank you guys for spending time with me tonight and having a good chat and coming up with some theories. And, it's great. So, yeah. Thanks for joining us with the source.
Not a problem.
Thanks, everyone.
See you later, Brian.
Thank you.